My name is Mike Welker, Coordinator of E-Learning and Innovation and Instructional Designer here at NC State College. And this brief tutorial video will walk you through how to do the basics of firing up and presenting content in the specific classroom. The good news is this is one of the more advanced classrooms we have, where we have a variety of presentation equipment to allow you to present whole lots of different kinds of multimedia to your students. Everything we need to do as far as operating, manipulating, powering on or off this equipment happens up here at the front of the room in the instructor console. An optional place or a drawer where you can pull that down, and out comes your keyboard and mouse to operate the instructor PC. But for our purposes, one of the first things we'll need to do to get ready for class is to fire up the PC. Now in this case, we'll have a solid door, but you could also have one with glass, and we'll open that up and you'll see it on one side or the other. And for almost all these guys, in the top left corner of the PC, you'll see there's a button there, and that's our power button. And if we press that, you can tell it's on by it being lighted. So in this particular classroom, the console has this sort of push button interface, which you can find as the black panel on the one of the top corners or somewhere on the instructor podium. And probably the first thing we'll want to do is fire up the projector up on the ceiling. And to do that on these, we just push the on button under display. Just push it down until it makes a hard click and then starts blinking, and then that will then fire up the projector and begin warming up, which will take about a minute or so. So to switch between the different available sources, each source that's available to us on this podium to share different kinds of material has its own physical push button. So if we want to share the instructor PC and send that up to the projector, we've got a PC button. If we push that, we just push it down, release it. That then lights up to indicate that's the active source being sent up to the projector. If we wanted to go to the DVD player, we'd press DVD, dock cam for dock cam, and laptop portable PC icon button for hooking in some sort of laptop. When we're all done and ready to shut everything down, we'll just go back to our instructor panel here on the podium, and under display, instead of saying on, we're going to hold down off until that blinks. And once that's begun, then that will begin the process of shutting down the projector. You want to make sure you log out of the instructor PC under your login, and then pick up your materials, and then you're good to go. Now for the laptop option, if I want to bring in my own laptop, I'll need to look for somewhere on the podium there'll be connectors, either these 3-row connectors, what we call the so-called VGA, or a newer connector, HDMI, as well as, if I'm doing audio, some sort of audio plug there as well. And I'll need to plug those into my laptop and get that fired up and send its video out. Then I can select the laptop source as being the source I want to go to the projector. Then what I'll need to do is open up my doors in my instructor podium and look for the DVD player. Usually we will go with Sony or Panasonic if you're looking for a name, but it should say something about DVD on it. In this case, it's a Panasonic one. So to open that up, to put my DVD in, I'd hit the open close, and it'll think about it, and then it will open up a drawer. I can put my DVD in and say open and close and go to town. Now in this particular classroom, there happens to be a Duquesne model document camera. And again, some folks are weirded out about what you can do with a document camera, but it is a very handy device. Basically, you've got a camera mounted on an arm above a stage. So you can put 3D artifacts or models or original documents that you might not want to have passed around class, or handouts or other printed materials that you can emphasize things on. So to get this Duquesne fired up for you, once we've selected DocCam on our podium there, what we do is we take the head here and we move that and we put that up. So then that's going to be above our stage, and whatever materials or 3D objects we want to put there, we can place on the stage itself. Then to fire this up, what we're going to do is on the bottom right hand corner, we've got a power button, and I will press and hold that till it blinks, and it'll go from a red to a green. And you can hear the little whir there if you've got good speakers, and that is saying that that is good to go. Now I can adjust this. I've got a series of controls, and I can look on the screen to get it the way I want. I've got autofocus, zoom in, zoom out, brightness, and on these models it's nice you've got little side lights here that you can deploy and say I want to fire up these guys as well, and you just push the lamp release forward on this and that will release those, and then I can unfold these and get side lighting however I need to on that. So then I can also turn this on or off by the light bulb button here and do that on both sides, and when I'm done I can fold that up and then tuck that back into place, and that'll click right back into place there. And when I'm ready to turn this off, I'll just hold down that same power button again, it'll blink, and I can lay that arm down if I want, and then away I go. And that's the basics of how to operate your Duquesne document camera. One other item to look for is this little black Kensington remote. If I'm doing some sort of slide deck presentation, remote connection to the instructor PC, so I can advance a slide or go back a slide or hide or use a laser pointer. That's the bare bone basics of getting into this beast, firing everything up. Use a quick tour of some of the possibilities that are here, and then shutting it down. Word of a caution on this: don't feel intimidated by all this, and likewise don't feel like you have to use all these woozles just to use them. Make sure when you're always using instructional technology, it's situated in a context of best practice. If you'd like to talk more about those or how to have effective use of your multimedia, you can get a hold of us at elearning@ncstatecollege.edu, 419-755-4706. Be happy to work with you in whatever questions or topics you want to work with. Other than that, have a great class.